Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. So welcome to a potential new series on the channel, Diamond Replay Analysis or something along the lines of that. But this series is pretty much taken from inspiration from a mistake, well not really a mistake, but from a corrupted video file that happened a few days ago on the channel in the Unranked to Diamond series. So yeah, I had to do it this style in Unranked to Diamond. A lot of people enjoyed this style, so I thought, hey, if I do this maybe once a week, that I take a Diamond game from my main account and just rip it apart and go pretty in detail with like analysis and why is this happening, and making it more of like say an LCS commentary, not just a live commentary. That type of thing is a good idea to me. Now there's two ways of doing this. For this episode, the first episode technically, we're going to do the full commentary. We're going to see how it goes with the full commentary. It might be way too much information though, because I'm going to be like analyzing everything. So if it is too much information, then what I can do is in future episodes I can just take the kind of key moments from each game. So in a given game of League of Legends, there's pretty much about 3 to 5 moments that pretty much wins you the game on average. I can take them moments and just kind of go into those instead of everything. But let me know in the comments below. Again, if you even want this series to continue, just throw a like on the video. That's the best way for me to know that people enjoy it. Anyway, I'm playing Sejuani. Haven't even mentioned that yet. So I'm playing Sejuani, a champion that I actually really enjoy. And last season, if you have followed the channel for a little bit, you probably all know Sejuani was one of my best champions in Season 5, surprisingly. She's not really my playstyle, because I'm more of an aggressive assassin player in my kind of history of League of Legends. But for some reason, I do click with her fairly well. I don't know why. Like literally, I always seem to get okay ultimates off, and hopefully you'll see a couple of those later in this video. But one cool thing to mention, if I just pause the video very quick, and this will happen occasionally, one thing I can do with the new editing software that I have is this. So I can go add, other, and now I am pretty much like John Madden. So hang on, I need to get used to it. Right, so say I am Sejuani. I just did Gromp down there, I just did blue over here, and now I'm going over here. So I can now draw on the game. That's pretty important when it comes to team fights. So I can pause it and, pretty much break it down what's happening. I'm actually excited to use that tool. And, I have ideas when I finish university of different series that I can do. And one big series, while First Blood is going to happen in top lane, I imagine pretty soon. One series I've got in my head is letting users submit replays. And I can break that down with that tool to kind of draw around the map while First Blood happens. And I believe in any second, then we get a kill that's severe. But yeah, that's an idea that I have. Anyway, one interesting thing to note what's happening on the map. If you're looking on the mini-map yourself, Nidalee has made an error. It's an error that I think is a pretty basic jungling error. Again, I'm going to pause the video just to explain it. Nidalee started here. Nidalee started on Gromp. Then she did blue buff, and then she did wolves. And now she's looking for the invade. That's such a late invade. By the time she gets to my red, I'm already done red, and I'm moving on to get some wraiths, or raptors, whatever they're called. That's way too slow for a jungle invade. Like, if you watch the Lee Sin episode 3 of Unranked to Diamond, you'll notice that when I did that on Lee Sin, I did this, and then I ran to the enemy red buff. You've got to get there as soon as possible if you want to get an invade off. That's too slow. So if we resume play, she walks over, oh, red buff's not here, she's going to look for me there, and then actually just goes and does my camp instead. While me thinking, okay, we're just doing a jungle clear, I'm a Sejuani, I don't really go for early ganks because I'm not that strong at them. But the one thing that they have going for them now, we have no idea this Nidalee is here. No wards on the map, no vision of her. So she does actually have the flank on the Fiora right now, which Fiora is in trouble. Now, as obviously, while you're jungling, and I'm just, running around the map right now, I'm looking at top lane, and I've noticed that Nidalee only has blue buff. So what am I going to do? What am I going to react like? I'm going to go do her red. Why not? It's a free red buff. I get to take it away. She just got a kill, so she does have that little bit of XP advantage on me, but I actually gained that back by doing the red buff. Unfortunately, Lucian does take down our Severe, Lulu being extremely low health, and I do believe he's about to take care of our Braum as well. He does end up flashing for it, and he gets a double kill. So my bot lane got First Blood, but now unfortunately it was turned against them. And that's, I've mentioned it a few times, if you don't use your gold advantage from First Blood, it's basically worthless. Severe got First Blood and didn't base. She didn't use the gold that she got for the First Blood. Anyway, I'm moving over because I'm thinking, hey, this is a free kill for me. I just saw him flash. So I move over. Let's just nom him with the Poro. Obviously, this is Poro Rider Sejuani, the best Sejuani skin alongside the bear one. Those are my two personal favourites. But yeah, Sejuani, again, people might think this is a random champion to play. It was recently played in LCS, and as you guys know, I watch LCS like every single time it's on, and I very much look into that, you know, very like hardcore what other professionals are playing. And because Sejuani was played in LCS, it got me thinking, is she okay again? You know, I haven't tried her in the whole of Season 6. Maybe I'll give her a go. And that's what this game was. It was me looking if Sejuani was a good champion. Like, is she strong at the moment? Anyway, Nidalee is going to look over for a gank. Again, not much vision going on in that area, so Lux just decides to flash to avoid the Karma stun, and she gets out. But again, that is a successful jungle gank coming from the Nidalee. To define a successful jungle gank is several things. Obviously, yes, the biggest one is you get a kill. That is a successful gank. Next one is summoner spells. Getting that flash, getting an exhaust or something like that. That is, again, another successful gank. But the third way of ganking successfully that people don't think about is actually pressure. Pressure is something that a lot of people don't talk about in League of Legends education terms, but pressure is what wins you games. Pressure of, especially as a jungler, is the jungler in my lane? Is the jungler going to gank me? If you are constantly making the enemy think about you as a jungler, you're doing your job well. There's a fight going off in bot lane. There is a teleport coming behind my bot lane. That is the Karma mid lane. Unfortunately, does go down. Good use of teleport. Just completely catches my bot lane off guard. It happens. While this is going on, I'm just doing a bit more jungle clear. Again, this is kind of why I like doing these replay analysis as a jungle specifically, because in the downtime of clearing the jungle, I can go around the map and look at other things. It's kind of a nice thing. Anyway, again, another pink ward going on in that bush, looking for the Riven. Pretty low right now. My Fiora does have advantage in this lane, even CS, but I'd say pressure-wise, she has got a little bit more pressure. Unfortunately, Nidalee just throws down a ward to kind of go, hey, there's a Sejuani in there. I do clear it instantly. I'm not that scared of Nidalee jumping on me at this point in the game. She doesn't really frighten me. But yeah, pressure, as I was mentioning, you know, if you are just constantly making, like, if I go to this, like, make this Riven feel that the Sejuani could be in my lane, I can't play aggressive. Or if I make the Karma think that, then I'm actually being a very, very effective jungler. Do a bit more jungle clear. Now I'm level 6, so again, a lot more effective champion is Sejuani at level 6. Nidalee is looking to clear the pink ward, and as soon as I see this, I'm like, alright, let's go full steam ahead to try and get a kill or two. Because Riven is still pretty low, my Fiora has more health, but I actually think we could easily take this 2v2. I'm Sejuani with a lot of crowd control. But anyway, actually going to just look for the kill onto the Riven, throw the ultimate straight on her. Fiora does flash on top of the Riven. Questionable flash there. Riven nearly has flash. I think she might have it up now. So maybe it was an okay flash. You know, getting the kill most of the time is just get the kill and that's about it. But I think we didn't need to flash there, to be honest. Nidalee is now clearing her her blue buff, sorry, and she's going to be a little bit selfish and take it for herself. On certain junglers, it's okay. You know, mid lane is kind of even right now. If not, our Lux is actually a little bit ahead. But the weird thing, my Lux actually went tier. Tier of the Goddess Lux, I've actually never seen it before. I don't know why you'd go Tier the Goddess Lux. I guess he's just like really aiming for late game. But I'm still going to give him blue because Lux does churn a lot of mana. Like she needs a lot of mana regen to kind of use her full capability. Teleport from my Fiora coming down to the bot lane, so now we're using teleport efficiently like the Karma did a minute ago. She actually does take the kill, which makes it completely worth it. I'm going to flash straight on the Lucian and get the slow on him. Brom flashes over the wall, gets the Q off with the auto attack, and boom, there's the kill for Lux. So very much a team effort there to get all of them kills, and while that is happening, Karma is trying to whack down the mid lane turret, but we've now started the dragon. It would be good if Severe came over to the dragon a little bit quicker. But it's not that bad. I think Lux is going to go over to mid lane just to make sure that doesn't take 1,000,000 damage. Nidalee is hovering around in mid lane, and now we know that, so we're just going to go for the dragon clear. Now, I did smite really early because I was like, hey, let's just kill it really quick, but then Severe started to run away. I was like, oh, oops. But we still got it, so that's good. Fiora returns to top lane, and as soon as she returns to top lane, the pressure is on this Riven. Again, this Riven wasn't a great Riven player. She uses flash, and I think Fiora continues to try and get the chase, but again, she has very high mobility Riven. She's very good at running away, so she does end up escaping. But it's just a general tip to you guys at home. look at your statistics of champions that you've maybe played over 10 games, and if your KDA is not great, either go in normals and practice with it, or maybe just not play that champion. I do remember specifically this Riven in the loading screen when I look at all stats, she had very bad stats. She had an okay win rate, but her stats were really bad. Anyway, Lux is getting driven out of the mid lane right now by the Karma, which isn't great. There's, again, very even lane. Lux does now have 1 kill up on the Karma. Karma has 1 assist. But a little bit of pressure going off. Both missed their some. Oh, actually, 1 hits, 1 doesn't. I'm going to run up the top lane, though. I am somebody that does very much believe in stereotypes, and I know some people think, oh, don't stereotype people, but stereotypes do exist for a particular reason. The Riven stereotype is a lot of them are ragers and all that type of thing, so I love camping a Riven. We go for the kill. I really didn't want to use my ultimate there because I liked saving it if I don't have to use it, but I didn't want the chance for Fiora to die, so I do end up blowing it. But yeah, I do believe in stereotypes because they do exist for specific reasons, while there is, again, going in mid lane. So if I see a Riven, I'm going to camp that Riven to try and tilt her to make her rage. Anyway, Lux is an amazing play here. Boom. That was a godlike play. Just ult her straight in the face, auto attack once with the passive, with a tower hit, and she goes down with also burning flash. So well played to Lux. That was really nice to have the confidence of just turning and ulting somebody when she could have potentially just run away. Very good play. But anyway, around the map, there's not much more to say. It's kind of just farm mode at the moment. On average, like, you know, top lane, it's within 6 CS. Jungle, very, very close. There's a fight going on in the bot lane right now. Maybe looking for the Lulu. They don't. They back out. Mid, very even. And bot lane, here is actually where our problem lies. Is the Severe is not farming very well. So as I said, Sejuani, I think I'm going to try and run down to bot lane. Try to get some pressure in that lane. And also at this point, we see the Karma teleport. That's a really good thing for us just to note, because she has already used that teleport once to kind of help the enemy bot lane, and now she can't do that. She's now got no teleport, can't go into the lane, so now we're going to look for the kill, while also Lux on the minimap, as you can see, is moving down. Also, Braum goes in at a very good time, gets that nice knock up onto Lucian. Lucian uses heal, Lulu uses her ult and flash, but we do get the kill. While that is going off, Fiora actually dives onto the Riven and ends up getting the kill. At this point in time, also Nidalee is looking for the Fiora. I don't even think she'd probably get the kill if she went on the Fiora, and she also just cleared the pink ward I placed a lot earlier in this game. Lux is returning to mid lane to try and make sure she doesn't get the tower. Karma, it's a weird thing. Karma has done an effective roam this game with teleport, but for the most part, she does actually stay mid lane a lot. And I remember this point upcoming because I actually played this game earlier today, so ready to sigh everybody in about 3-4 seconds. So I'm moving in for the kill. Gonna try and get it. So I think she's gonna run this way. There's the ultimate, there's the flash, and I completely miss everything. At this point, I don't even know what happened. I think I lagged out or something, and I just like stood still for a second, and I just panic. You know, I'm dead. Not sure what happened there. Again, I don't know. Maybe I even like put my head in my hands in my head. I don't actually remember, and that also baits Lux into dying, which wasn't a great situation, but it happens. There's not a lot you can do. Sometimes bad plays do occur. Top lane is where the dynamic camera wants me to look, so we shall look there nonetheless. Riven is going in for a all-in. I don't know why. I don't think the Riven could take this Fiora. Nice flash there. I don't think 100% either, but Riven just missed her ultimate slash, and she goes down. So yeah, this Riven not playing well. Again, that's where the advice comes in look at the stats of your champions for over 10 played champions. Or like if you played a champion for over 10 games, look at the stats, and if they're not very good, maybe practice it a bit more before taking it into ranked. Going to do a bit more jungle clearing and then eventually probably walk over to the blue buff. So far, very basic analysis is going on. I'm basically just commentating the game. The actual analysis hopefully will come in later in the game in team fights, because that's actually when the game becomes interesting. Yeah, for the most part. Going to hand over the blue once again to the Lux. More useful on her than me, and that's what you've got to think as a jungler about buffs. A lot of people have always asked me, should I give buffs and all this stuff? If the buff is more useful on them than you, then do it. That's pretty much the only question you've got to ask. Anyway, we're going for an engage. Braum is actually going very low at this point in time. There's the ultimate. There's the Lux laser. Pretty nice kill. Lulu just backed off completely. She might have been able to ult the Karma, but that probably wouldn't have saved her. She would probably have died anyway. Again, Fiora dives the Riven once again. There's not much more to say about this matchup. The Riven played it bad. The Fiora played it well. It's just that type of matchup. It's a snowball matchup. Both of these champions could win the lane, and pretty much the better player wins the lane. It's how it works. Unfortunately, Lux does get caught out by a 3-man gank. Nidalee didn't actually get an assist for it, but a lot of pressure. You know, again, that's that thing that people underestimate. You know, even if you don't get an assist for the kill, if you divert somebody to run a different way, that is pressure, and that is being useful. Anyway, I think I'm going to look for something here, potentially in mid lane. So let's like target around this area of the map. Going on manual camera, I look for just a Q, and then I look for an ult straight on the Lucian, so I do flash on top of him afterwards, but this is where we can't actually get anything more. Unfortunately, Karma does come into the mix in the middle of the fight. I thought we could have bursted the Lucian, but the Lulu ult did do a lot more than I thought. Riven, I believe, did teleport into the backline, and she doesn't do a lot of damage, but she creates that pressure that enables the team to get 2 kills, unfortunately. Again, it happens. Now, one thing that I was looking here, if we pause the video here, so this is where, you know, as a Lux, she's probably licking her lips right now, because potentially there could be 3 people running into a straight line into her damage, but what actually ends up happening, they all back off. So if I was the Lux, I would have been a lot more patient with, you know, holding the damage until she actually 100% sees someone walking in. Just a little side note there I thought I'd add. Anyway, the enemy team are going to go for that dragon. There's nothing we can do about this. You know, Lux is the only person in the area that could do anything, and she's got a very obviously squishy build. You guys know me. I'm not a very big fan of the Medjai's build. It's a very cocky pill to go, which most of the time doesn't work. So my general advice would be don't do it. As the enemy team just got dragon, I'm going to smite the wolf here, because just in case they decide to walk into our jungle after getting the dragon, we have the wolf spirit to just kind of be like, hey, we know you're here. Bit more jungle clearing going on. Let's speed up the game a little bit more. You know, the team fighting hopefully will start pretty soon. Riven does get the top tower, but for it, she does go down again, making herself 0-7 and our Fiora being 7-1. I think it's worth, you know, towers are eventually going to fall anyway. You can't really help it. And at this point, I'm pretty sad, actually, as a Sejuani, because look at this. So, Karma is just in the middle of the lane. You know, I know she doesn't have any vision right now because of how she's reacting. She would have run away by now if she had vision. Unfortunately, my Lux was doing the Wraith. She ran around maybe a little bit earlier, just stopped doing the Wraith, and I probably could have jumped on the Karma and got a kill, but it was not to be, unfortunately. My bot lane is pushing, looking for this tower, and bot lane, they'll probably get it pretty easy. But at this point, I'm kind of thinking, they're going to go for that tower. Nobody's stopping them. Where is the enemy team? I'm going to rotate to the bot lane just to make sure that they're okay. Think of it as like a bodyguard for a VIP person, just to kind of make sure they're okay. Give them a pat on the back and be like, okay, we're good. Lulu does walk into a little bit of line fire. She does straight away flash, and then we get a TP from our Lux. At this point, I'm thinking, that's a bit wasted, but I guess if you have the summoner spell, you may as well use it. It does get wasted. We didn't do anything with it, but that's completely fine. Occasionally that will happen. Fiora is by herself right now clearing the pink ward, so she does have to be a little bit careful. And while this is going on, we're rotating over to mid lane to see if maybe we can get a pick in the enemy jungle or something similar to that effect. You know, Braum is warding deep into the enemy jungle, trying to create that pressure that, you know, makes the enemy team feel a little bit crippled, makes them feel a bit like we can't do anything even in our own territory. Anyway, I remember this point being pretty good, so let's just pause it for a second. This is where I'm going to use the new fancy tool. So let's get the whiteboard. So Sejuani, if you know this champion, you know that she is an AoE stun champion. Look at this bunch that the enemy team is doing right now. They're 3-man bunching with Karma also. Well, at the moment she's facing that direction, but any second now she could turn and, well, it's mainly the grouping I want to point out. If you know you're against a Sejuani that has an AoE CC, don't group like that. It's pretty much running into a suicide. So let's run the play straight away, turn with the ultimate, and boom. Even Lux binds hit. Lux binds and my ultimate hits. 2 free kills when it wasn't even needed. I have no idea why the enemy was even trying to chase us at that point. Anyway, there is a potential little... Well, we're diving right now, which is questionable. We do get the Riven. Our Fiora does go down because she's taking tower damage. And we really want this mid tower. The problem is, the 2 people with wave clear on the enemy team, the Lucian and the Karma, are the 2 left alive. So while we're trying to get this tower, they're just constantly harassing us, doing a bit of damage, so we actually have to be very careful. Sure, if we landed a bind or something like that, we do land one, but nobody's around now to actually try and get the kill. So we actually do have to back off, which is unfortunate. Gonna speed up the game footage just so we can get to the action a little bit quicker. Don't think anything is going to happen in mid lane apart from just a little bit of farming, etc. So we'll slow down the game again. We'll go into item builds. I like talking about item builds. So as a Sejuani, just to make you guys aware, if you are looking to pick up the champion yourself, just from, you know, oh, Huzz is playing Sejuani again, time to pick it up. I went the Stalker Blade Cinderhulk. I like the Stalker Blade because it gives me the extra slow. I like the Cinderhulk because it makes me tanky. You could try Echo, Runic Echoes. Nidalee does DC, but I do believe she comes back. You could try Runic Echoes to go more damage orientated, like Master Oink, or Mr. Oink, I can't remember his name. But I think the Cinderhulk is just by far the superior way. Second item, Locket of the Iron Solari. I think this is like pretty much the standard second item on Sedge because it gives her everything she needs. Tanky in the middle of a team fight, being disruptive, and you can give your team shields, etc. While this is going on, by the way, 3 people go top lane to take care of the Fiora. Bot lane did take care of Lucian. And then now my next item, well, I got Swifty Boots, that's, you know, needless to say. My next item in my head, I'm thinking, right, I'm going to go Iceborne Gauntlet. Again, I am Sejuani, the master of slowing people pretty much. So if I go for a Gauntlet as well, one, I have that AD, I have CDR, but also I get that slow effect with my massive big mace every now and then. That's really helpful. So I think this is pretty much just a standard Sejuani build. You know, if it were to continue it, probably Deadman's would be in there eventually. Maybe, you know, other things like that. Anyway, so Void does go down. Baron is about to spawn relatively soon, which does open up the potential to do Baron. Obviously, being part of Dignitas, I try to avoid that thing as much as possible. But, you know, if it's open, it is open. We'll speed up the game, try to get to footage a bit more. We'll just open it with dynamic camera for a little bit, just to let it take us to the action where it wants us to see. We are pressuring mid lane a little bit. I'm doing red buff at this point in time. But I think, you know, we have a strength. You know, we're 18 kills, they have 11. This is a replay, obviously the first time I've watched the replay back after playing the game. We're only like nearly 2,000 gold ahead. That's actually not that far ahead. You know, that is, what, just one item across a whole team? That's actually not that much. So the enemy team definitely can still win a team fight at this point in the game. It depends how well we play it. Anyway, Lux does get caught out here any second. I do move over to try and help her, and then Lucian starts ulting her, so I do eventually move in the way. Riven completely fails her flash and combo. Again, this Riven not very good, and this is where I get to use my fancy tool again very soon. So like I said earlier, when I broke down that little catch that we got on them 2 people, Sejuani, AoE stun champion. What don't you do against Sejuani? Bunch. You do not group. Now, one nice tip that I have for you on Sejuani is she can do something very special. Now, pause it here. This is actually a very good time to pause it. So, as you can see, the enemy team is in a line, right? The thing with Sejuani ult, the closer you actually land your stun on people, the more it actually spreads. It's not official like that, but that's just the way that it works. If I were to throw my ultimate from this range, it wouldn't hit probably the people on the outside. But if I were to hit my ult here, it will. So again, very easy to explain. This line here, we may as well call this line Suicide Lane. Like, we may as well call this line Suicide Lane, because what you're about to see pretty much is them suiciding. So ready? Really fun to watch. Flash into it. 4-man stun, and boom, the team fight starts to happen, going crazy onto everything practically. And that was just from them bunching way too much, me flashing on top and using my ult. Again, people may ask, why didn't I just Q and then ultimate? Flashing is a lot more instant. Flashing you can't react to as quickly as a Sejuani queuing to you. So the flash ultimate combo, they couldn't do anything about it. Free team fight for us. We only didn't kill 2 of the enemy. We didn't kill the Nidalee, we didn't kill the Lucian, but at this point in time we're deciding to go to the Baron. We do it pretty quickly with our team comp, especially with how fed the Fiora is. And yeah, free Baron. Pretty much just from the enemy team grouping too much, bunching too much. And that is just, you know, again, making a mistake against our team comp. You need to be spread when there's a Sejuani on the enemy team. And even if you think in the back of your head there is a potential chance for her to flash on top of you and ult, you shouldn't be there. You know, if we take our team comps as what they are, our team comp is kind of like an AoE team comp. Like, we've got a Severe, not a carry AD carry. She is literally the definition of a team AD carry. We're looking for team fights. That's how we win the game. That is our win condition. We do end up getting the dragon. I actually don't secure it, but Severe does. That's our win condition, team fighting. The enemy team, they've got picks on their side, and that's pretty much it. They are a pick team couple. Nidalee lands a spear, they go on somebody. Riven goes on someone. Karma slows, stuns, damage, goes on someone. They're not a team fighting team. They are a pick team, and they are not using that to their advantage. They're just looking for team fights, or they're being in an area that allows us to team fight them, and that's exactly what we want. At this point in time, Fiora is bot lane, not by herself anymore, and they actually do end up getting the tier 2 turret. They do have to be careful. You know, me and Severe are back at base, so they've got to be very careful of getting caught out. The enemy team potentially is looking for an engage right now, but I do think they give up because of just how tanky both Fiora and Braum is. Moving probably into hopefully the closing stages of the game. If this timeline is correct, then we have a roughly 3 minutes to go. Braum is looking for a little engage here. Now, he did a mistake there. He just ran blind into like a bush. Lux gets a really nice combo into the Riven. Fiora is looking for a little bit of a flank with her ultimate to try and continue going for more damage, and I just go for a random ultimate to see if I could stun anything. Unfortunately didn't land the stun, just got the slow and then Nidalee couldn't do anything with that. Bit of PM going on from me. I occasionally do it just for a bit of fun because I don't know, you know, you have to have fun with the game occasionally. Fiora is looking for a little bit more damage onto the Lulu. Look at that damage going off. Nice riposte use from the Fiora to make sure she didn't die from the Nidalee. I'm in the base now with my team. Got to be careful of the Karma. It's sometimes hard to remember that the Karma is a mid laner, not a support. She does go for a very weird try flash Q onto the Fiora, but I'm just in the way. I was in the way beforehand. I do go a little bit deep, and I think I will pay with my life. I do. Vegeta did take me down. Obviously, I'm not Goku. She is chasing the Braum as much as she can, but then the Fiora returns. The return of the king. And Fiora, I think, is here to remind the Riven who is the true kind of AD bruiser in this game. As she continues going on the Lulu, Severe ultimates gives the benefit to Fiora. And now my team are going for the second inhibitor of the game. I'm still dead at this point. Just to remind you, Braum is making his way over. So this is a 3v4. But I think they should be completely fine. They're spreading the enemy team, which is exactly what you have to do if you're, you know, outnumbered. If you are ever outnumbered, if you're going in a team fight in like an uneven situation, spread as much as possible. Don't let them use their number advantage. Lux takes a crazy amount of damage. She does go down eventually, which the ult was questionable when she was basically staring the enemies in the face before the fight. Fiora is looking for as much damage as possible. Lulu goes down from the Severe. Nidalee goes down from the Fiora, and again the fight is continuing. This is a crazy long fight. I'm in mid lane making my way here as quick as possible, but they should be completely fine. At this point in the game, Braum has given the what's it called, Zeke's Herald or Harbinger to the Fiora because pretty much she's the biggest carry of this game. You have to be flexible as a support who you give that item to just let the person carry, and definitely Fiora is doing that. So far, you know, this is a pretty just average game for Sejuani. I just wanted to begin this series of just a solid game, not a complete stomp. I don't go crazy in this game like the Lee Sin episode the other day. Just very well-rounded of me testing a champion if it's good enough to be played again. And my synopsis is this. I think Sejuani is good enough to be played again. I think she's a solid champion that does rely on player skill, especially decision making, you know, when to ult, when to group. That's very much what Sejuani is all about. But if you nail that, I think she's definitely probably a top 10 jungler right now, and I'm probably going to pick her back up. So yeah, pretty solid all round. Let me know what you think of this type of commentary. Obviously, it's a brand new series. It's going to take me a while to perfect, or even, you know, just get used to doing it. If you've got any advice or any tips, feel free to throw it. And also just, you know, would you rather me to do the full commentary like this or only break down specific moments? So like in this game, it would have been that fight in mid lane here. It would have been the picks here. A couple things like that. Anyway, we're going to try and close out the game soon. I throw my ultimate and unfortunately miss. I actually thought that was going to hit. Which is unfortunate, but occasionally it'll hit, occasionally it'll miss. Maybe I should have queued into it. Maybe, you know, I could have even flashed. Anyway, a fight's breaking down. Vegeta goes down straight away to me. Moving on to the Riven, who got exhausted. Another kill for me. I flash straight on the Lucian, try to slow him. Fiora picks him up, and then we're just ending up, you know, finishing the rest of the team. So that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this commentary. Again, let me know what you think of this potential series on the channel. And yeah, this is something that I could potentially open up to you guys, you know, that you can submit a replay. I'm not going to do that right now, but it's just a potential idea that I have for the future. So thanks very much for watching. Please like the video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.